Today I'm going to replace the bearings in the bell crank. You can see when those bearings go out, there's two of them, needle bearings in there. The housing goes out. Next thing you know, this arm goes over here and just running up against the side plates right there. So we'll get that removed. So we're going to go ahead and put the head on and lock it onto the combine and have our wings locked and our float locked. Now what we got going on here is, the reason I can't get that bolt out, that wing was not locked. That was kind of my fault. So I got to get that so I can get that bolt out. So we're going to raise the head back up to lock the wing. So we got the wing locked here, and I just got that loose. And the reason is, that way I can get that carriage bolt on the other side out. So we got it hooked onto the combine. Everything's hooked on. I did tilt it ahead, and we lowered it down till this bolt got loose. And I did have him tilted ahead, so I'm going to take this bolt out, and this one off, and this piece will come right out of there, so I can take the bell crank on over to a vise to put the bearings in. One of the videos I might have said something wrong about taking that bolt out, but no, it's taking this bolt out of the compression link coming on up. I get that bolt out, I've got this piece off, go to the vise. So I've got it clamped in the vise, pull the sleeves out, and popping those bearings out. I've got the seals, I should say, at the top side. And then I've kind of made a special tool to push those bearings out. So I got my removal tool that I made installed here. And you can kind of see I've got these bushings that I made, because they've got to be tight. And they're going to push right against that outer side of that race right there. As I tighten that up, it's going to push that old bearing into that piece right there. Just a video, you can see how I'm pushing the bushings on through right now. And that bearing, he's probably about halfway out right now. So I got the bearing on out. I just kind of left it this way. I'll kind of knock it out the back side. You can just see how that bearing, when the needles go out, it actually wears the housing out. And you got to be careful, because that piece is super sharp, like a razor blade on the edge there. So you just don't want to put your hand in there and pull it out. Sometimes when those bearings go out, they'll leave kind of a sharp edge. So when I go ahead and put a new one in there, it can catch it. So I'll just take some emery cloth. So these bearings are a little thicker on one side, on the outside. You can kind of see this is a little thinner. So this is the side I'm going to want to push against with my tool. I'll stick that in there, get it started. You got to be really careful, because it might want to hit that ridge. That's why I do everything by hand. So if I feel it's hitting that ridge, I'll just back it up till I feel that it jumped over it. So the same tool I used to take the bearing out will be the same one I'll use to put it back in. Now this piece I'm using to push that bearing, there's the bearing. This is the piece I'm going to use to push it in. I machine that down, so when this side comes flush with this, I know I've got my bearing centered in there. So I got my bearing pushed on in. That is still my bushing right there. And when I take it out, and if I measure from here over to the bearing and here over the bearing, that bearing should be centered.